I've said it once and I will say it again. People who try to rail against the HEA fall into one of two camps. The first camp is they don't understand I'm talking about publishing requirements. You would be very hard pressed. Next to impossible. It would be next to impossible to find a publisher who would publish your romance if it didn't have a happy ever after. That's how the romance genre works in publishing. So you can't throw Wuthering Heights at me, and you certainly can't throw Romeo and Juliet at me. You really gotta examine yourself if you think Romeo and Juliet is a romance. But while this is a genre requirement for publishing, it also has become a genre requirement for readers. So there's that camp. And then there's the other camp, which is the misogyny camp, internalized or otherwise. The reality is, historically, romance has been a genre for women. It's where women writers got most of their traction for a long time. It's mostly consumed by women, mostly written for the female gaze, not strictly speaking, but... And it literally upholds the publishing industry with how much money it makes. And that pisses people off. Because what do you mean that a genre focusing on women's pleasure sells the most and upholds the rest of the publishing industry so that litfic can continue on the way it does? Look, I love litfic. I love it. But I would never go stomp all over it and go, but where are the tropes? Genre conventions and expectations are to be taken seriously. And those who try to rail against it are kind of showing me that they have a problem with women enjoying anything.